Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode number 34 of the Wide World of Geek, where we look at what's new and newsworthy in the world of geek this week. Now, last week was a fairly important week in geek, thanks to the announcement of the PlayStation 4. This week is possibly equally as important, due in part to the mainstream attention that comic books have gotten. And I'm speaking particularly of the USA Today's spoiling of the finale of the comic Batman Incorporated number 8. Now, Batman Incorporated is a mid-level, mid-popularity level comic out of DC's New 52 lineup. It deals with the Batmen of many nations, an idea that was introduced in the Silver Age of comics and was brought back into popularity with the New 52. But recently it has been undergoing a crossover story with the other Bat books, part of Death of the Family, and this is really spinning out of Death of the Family. Now, for those of you who have not seen it, here's the cover. This should tell you a lot about what's in this issue. Now, USA Today spoiled this on Monday by simply stating that Robin, also known as Damian Wayne, son of Batman, dies. And it was confirmed early this morning by places like Newsarama and Comic Book Resources that yes, in fact, this does happen. Now, this happens at the end of the issue, and I will just give you the aftermath, the post-kill. So the kill's actually kind of brutal. But you've got Batman holding his son in a way very reminiscent of how he held Jason Todd's body after the Joker killed him. For those of you who don't know, Jason Todd was the second Robin. Now, before I really get into this issue, I want to talk a little bit about Damian Wayne's background. He is the son of Batman and Talia al Ghul, the daughter of Raj al Ghul. He was introduced in a story called Batman, Son of the Demon in 1987. This was written by Grant Morrison, and for the longest time it was considered purely out of continuity, as in, this story didn't take place in the DC proper. Well, fast forward to 2006, and Damian Wayne is reintroduced. Now, technically, if this were real time, he would be 19 at the time. He appears more like a 10 to 12-year-old most of the time. He was raised by Talia al Ghul, trained by the League of Shadows, trained to be an assassin, a very well-skilled assassin. He murdered people. He had no qualms about killing, until he finally met his father. Now, the really creepy thing about this is the original story, and this ended up being somewhat retold, was that Batman was drugged and raped by Talia, who was obsessed with him, who has her own daddy issues, and because of this, we got Damian Wayne. He was grown in an artificial womb. He was basically a test tube baby. But he is the son of Bruce Wayne. Now, he was reintroduced as kind of an interloper. He stole Jason Todd's Robin tunic out of the memorial case in the Batcave. He caused Tim Drake a lot of issues. Tim Drake quit being Robin because of him and ended up becoming Red Robin. Jokes inserted here. And thanks to the events of Final Crisis and Batman's apparent death, Dick Grayson, the original Robin, became Batman, and he took on Damian Wayne as his Robin. He chose him over Tim Drake because he felt that Damian needed guidance. Tim had grown. He was his own person. He didn't need to be Robin to Batman. But Damian needed this. So, starting with Batman and Robin number 1, Dick Grayson and Damian Wayne grew from this kind of love-hate relationship, a lot of A lot of back talk, a lot of snottiness from Damian. And they grew to have a true partnership. And then Bruce Wayne came back. He took over being Batman and basically just replaced Dick Grayson's role in Damian's life. He was his father. He was also now his Batman. And they continued from 2009 until today. So that's basically the background. Now, under the tutelage of Bruce Wayne, Damian gave up killing. He promised he would never kill again. And he tried to turn over this new leaf. He became a better person. He was always trying to strive for his father's love, which he had, and his respect, which he earned. Now, there are a few bits about this comic which goes really, really quickly. It's really choppy, and it's not honestly the best written thing. But there is one part in here that I want to read, because it's Damian speaking to Dick Grayson, who is back to being Nightwing. And Damian flies in to try to help save the day. Wayne Tower is under siege. There's this weird cult thing going on. And they're kind of hiding behind a cement sign of Wayne Enterprises. And they're trading little quips back and forth. And Damian goes to Dick Grayson and goes, "So far, I'd say you've been my favorite partner. We were the best, Richard, no matter what anyone thinks." This is a massive bit of foreshadowing. He's saying we were the best. Not we are the best, we were the best. We were a great team. Nobody was better than we were. We were efficient. We took care of business. We dealt with things that Bruce Wayne never had to deal with as Batman. We were great. Were. And were is not emphasized in here. It's best. But in reading the rest of the issue, were becomes emphasized. It's a farewell. It's Damian Wayne saying goodbye. And it's really poignant because he's just a kid. But his childhood was completely taken away from him. He never got to be a child. He grew up brutally. And this is right after Nightwing telling him, "You're not supposed to be here. You're supposed to be back at Wayne Manor and you're supposed to be safe." And you go, "You flew right into a war zone." And Damian responds with, "Where I belong. This is the result of years of accumulating anger." And he's not speaking of his own anger, which is plentiful. He's speaking of his mother's anger. And this is happening right after Bruce Wayne, who's been chained up and locked in a box and put underwater of the pool at the top of Wayne Enterprises, yelling, "I'm not your father, Talia." So they're addressing the daddy issues. And for right after this happens, what I can only really describe as a more Middle Eastern Batman, who was part of the Batman Incorporated, he shows up. He was revealed in the last issue to be a clone of Damian Wayne, who was grown artificially, had his aging enhanced, so he'd be a full-on adult. He wears a metal mask and has funky little bat ears on his traditional Middle Eastern desert garb. And they go to punch him. He has no effect. Nightwing gets thrown into a glass case with a suit of armor, and he crumples. I don't agree with this. Nightwing should have a little more fight to him. So Damian Wayne then has to fight his clone on his own. And it's the one guy with the sword versus Damian Wayne who picks up a spear from one of the exhibits. And he's holding his own. He gets kicked around a little bit, but he ends up shooting him with a crossbow in the lung. Because he goes, "I promised my father I wouldn't kill anyone ever again." Shoots him in the lung. It's not a killing blow. He then goes to attack him, and he's doing fairly well. But the League of Shadows minions, I guess you'd call them, are on the balcony, perched with guns and bows and arrows and crossbows. And as he's fighting him, he gets riddled with bullets and arrows. and he calls them cowards. He's got enough fight in him. He's able to call these people cowards. They can't just let this be a fair fight between two people. And the result of this is he gets stabbed right through the stomach. And Batman arrives just too late. You honestly don't know what happens with the clone. It goes right from him stabbing to Batman plummeting down a building, holding onto a man-bat, and then Damian Wayne is in Batman's arms. And this girl that Damian Wayne was keeping safe, who was keeping this bomb trigger from bad guys, whispers, "He saved me." And Talia al Ghul feels half a moment's regret about Damian dying. And that's it. That's the end. It just says, "To be continued." And we don't know exactly what happens after that. We're going to find out, obviously, in Batman Incorporated #9, or in one of the core Batman titles. Here's my biggest issue. Was Damian Wayne's death necessary? Please answer down in the comments. Tell me whether you think it was necessary. Personally, I don't think his death was necessary at all. He was around as Robin for three and a half years. He was finally becoming a hero. He's finally becoming a person in his own right. And he's killed. Now, here's the thing. People who are part of this book, the artist, Chris Burnham, has said, "I think this is going to stick. I think this death is going to matter, and it's going to be around for a good long time. They're not just going to undo it." I don't believe this for a second, for this main reason. Damian Wayne is the son of Talia al Ghul, meaning he's the grandson of Ra's al Ghul. They are known for their use of the Lazarus Pits. Ra's al Ghul has done this to keep himself alive and young and healthy. Talia al Ghul used it to bring Jason Todd back from the dead. Granted, it made him insane for a good long time. There is also the fact that Damian Wayne's main role in life originally was to be turned into the host for Ra's al Ghul. And Batman was able to get in there and stop that from happening, take Damian in, and we got to where we're going. This is not to say Talia al Ghul just won't toss him in a Lazarus pit. Bring him back. Bring back her son. If he's a little bit crazy, like Jason Todd was, hey, guess what? He might be on her side now. It's one of the many things in DC's New 52 that I just don't agree with. There's no need for it. It's easily undoable. It's a little just half-cocked. And I don't know. Did I like Damian Wayne? Kinda. I liked he was an edgier Robin. I liked the development of his character. I don't think he should have died. I think he should have had more time as Robin. Robins get a really bad rap. They die really easily. Let one, for once, have a chance. Tim Drake's parents, dead. Dick Grayson's parents, dead. Jason Todd's parents, dead. Damian Wayne's parents, alive. One's Batman. One's an evil psycho lady. Poor kid. So, we've been going for 14 minutes, all about one issue of a comic, and I'll be frank, it's the only issue of Batman Incorporated I've read. It's the only one I wanted to read. I've not liked the DC New 52, as I've said. But I felt with the importance of this issue, it deserved to be read and to be talked about. So that's going to do it for this week's Wide World of Geek. There will hopefully be a new adventure in the Bronze League this Sunday. I realize it's gone 2 weeks without any gaming videos. There will not be a Fry Play, and there will not be a Fry Play for the foreseeable future. The reasons behind this are that I've got 2 jobs, and I coach junior high track. So my time is very minimal. I don't work my second job on Wednesdays. I don't work my second job on Sundays. So hopefully at some point Fry Plays will come back. Maybe it will expand with the summer. We'll see. But until Sunday with an adventure in the Brunswick, and until next week for the next episode of Wide World of Geek, this is Baka, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.